fam, what up? My name is Anthony, greatness, cotton, dancer, motivational speaker, and much more. Blame my ADHD. Today, I'm going to react to a video by The Detail called Michael Jackson's Weight and Diet. The reason I'm reacting to this is because this is something I've been curious about my entire life. What did Michael Jackson eat? I've never seen a video, a picture, a backstage pass, nothing of Michael Jackson eating ever. So I've always wondered, did he eat? How did he survive doing tours and going across the country and dancing like that? And what kind of diet did he have to support that lifestyle? So I hope this video is super informative. Shout out to The Detail. I just did an interview with them and Matt is just awesome over there. It was amazing. So just shout out to The Detail. I really love their channel. Anyway, if there's other Michael Jackson videos you want to see me react to, please let me know in the comments. Be sure to watch this video all the way to the end to get today's random motivational tip. Other than that, I'm done talking. Let's go.
During the early days of the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson's chubby cheeks and cherubic smile enchanted fans and endeared him to the public. Naturally slender, Jackson never needed to pay much attention to his weight, as daily rehearsals and grueling stage performances meant him and his brothers maintained an active lifestyle.
For sure.
The Jacksons were the picture of good health, youth, vibrancy, and a model example of a wholesome Black American family.
Jackson.
According to his mother, Catherine, when Michael was at home, he would eat normally, take care of himself, and keep fit by shooting hoops with his brothers on their driveway.
Oh, wait, was that Michael with the little Steph Curry with the shot, boy? Was that Michael? Hold on, let me see. Don't let that be Michael.
According to his mother, Catherine, when Michael was at home, he would eat normally, take care of himself, and keep fit by shooting hoops with his brothers on their driveway.
But okay, Mike.
However, while on the road, the Jackson brothers' eating patterns would take a turn, as they often resorted to fast food and sugary snacks to get them through their chaotic work schedules.
Sure.
Like many teenagers, Michael Jackson developed a sweet tooth and indulged himself with his favorite junk food, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Multiple sources have confirmed
that look kind of juicy. KFC don't look like that anymore, but that right there, that look kind of juicy.
He would often have KFC buckets all over his home and car. His teenage friend, David Guest, said that he had enjoyed fried chicken since childhood. Quote, "I remember he'd sit in his car, take off the skin, and say, 'David, now I've made it organic. I can eat it.'"
Boy, not organic.
However, David Guest mentioned how Jackson became increasingly preoccupied with his weight and image as he developed into adulthood, encouraging Guest to slim down, saying, quote, "You've always got to improve to make yourself look better." In the early 1980s, Michael Jackson sought to lose weight due to his desire for a dancer's body, believing his movements would appear cleaner and more precise when performed by a more angular body. By the time Thriller was released, Michael had become a vegetarian and adopted a strict, healthy lifestyle. It was widely reported that Michael Jackson did not drink alcohol, smoke, or abuse illegal substances due to his entrenched religious beliefs, adding to Michael Jackson's goody two-shoes public image, which was at odds with Jackson's much-publicized endorsement of sugary soda brand Pepsi Cola that he reportedly never actually drank. During this period, Michael was open about fasting at least one day a week for religious as well as health reasons. But instead of laying low that day to conserve his energy, Michael would dance non-stop on his portable dance floor in his bedroom.
Just something I decided to do for my body. And I dance every Sunday, and I feel better doing it.
You just fast and dance?
I don't eat anything.
That's what I want to do. I'm about to just start fasting and dancing on Sundays. I don't know about fasting. I might have just lied to y'all. Maybe a little, like 20% fast, but just dancing.
But Michael Jackson's restrictive diet didn't stop there. Although a vegetarian, he didn't actually like vegetables very much and wasn't a fan of pasta dishes neither. He soon became notorious for being a very...
The first picture I've ever seen, God is my witness, the first video I've ever seen in my life, a picture of Michael Jackson eating. I have never, ever before this moment seen a picture or video of Michael eating. Thank you, The Detail. We love you, The Detail. Let me go back a little bit.
He soon became notorious for being a very picky eater. Catherine Jackson mentioned that Michael at one point employed a full-time chef, but she didn't know why he bothered because when she took him his food, he'd eat 2 tablespoons, then leave the rest.
That's brutal.
During 1983, Michael Jackson's dieting became more apparent, as his weight dropped to a reported 120 pounds while filming the Thriller music video. Those around him became increasingly concerned about Michael Jackson's inconsistent eating habits as they were preparing to embark on the Jackson's Victory Tour. Witnesses reported that he was often dizzy and speculated he was
Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently, so you never have to slow down at work. Instant corrections make your...
How did he survive?
Suffering from anorexia nervosa. His mother recounted that he told her that, quote, "If I didn't eat to live, I'd never eat." Sometimes Michael didn't want to eat at all, at least not a decent meal. He once had a handful of M&Ms and he was just popping those in his mouth one at a time, saying that's all he wanted and had not eaten anything else all day. There were times when he would eat in his room and a salad was made for him. He would sometimes just eat half or just take a couple of bites and leave it. Katherine Jackson also stated, quote, "Michael Jackson enjoyed having the last word in our arguments about his diet. You're always worrying about me being too skinny," he'd say. "But you know what? My doctor told me I was in #1 shape, so stop worrying about me." But ultimately, 1984's Victory Tour got the better of Michael, as he suffered from exhaustion and dehydration due to lack of rest after his physical exertion on stage,
I didn't know that.
as well as stress caused by family and business dramas while on the road.
For sure.
Brazilian chef Remy Villarreal, who was once employed by Quincy Jones and impressed Jackson with her all-natural, healthy vegetarian cooking, remembers when she was in her apartment and received a phone call. Quote, "The person on the phone asked me to look outside. He said, 'See the limousine? Get in it now.' I told him I could not because I had to change my clothes because I was all dirty from cleaning. They didn't care. I was taken to a big building in Beverly Hills and up to the very top penthouse. It was very luxurious. The man on the other side of the desk..."
Imagine if they about to say she went to Michael Jackson. Imagine you just at home cleaning, doing the dishes, minding your business, and they're like, "Go outside now, get in the limousine." You get in the limousine, go to the hotel. Michael Joseph Jackson. Michael Joseph Jackson. I just pass out. There would be no cooking. There would be passing out.
Handed me a ticket and said, "You are going to the airport right now. Here's your ticket." I asked him why. He explained to me that Michael Jackson was having stomach aches and specifically requested me to be his nutritionist on the Victory Tour.
Imagine.
He was feeling sick to his stomach and refused to go on stage until they sent me to be his private cook. They were all very nervous. They said they were losing millions of dollars in
Second picture I've seen of Michael eating. I am so happy for this video. This is like a thought comes true. Thank you.
canceled shows, and I had to go right then. Years later, when Michael Jackson chose to embark on his subsequent solo tours, his doctor
tour.
insisted that he go on a strict high-protein diet, including fish, so that he'd be able to keep his stamina up, which Michael reluctantly agreed to. In later conversations, Jackson stated, quote, "What turns me off is that I don't like eating anything that used to be alive and now it's dead on my plate. I want to be a strict vegetarian, but my doctors keep trying to throw in chicken and fish." However, the additional nourishment...
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm distracted by the dance moves. I'm trying to listen, but my brain just went ADHD because don't get me started.
It was needed for Jackson to perform in the manner he was used to and what his fans came to expect. It was reported that Jackson's high-energy performances were so physically grueling, he lost weight every time he performed. After each show, it was said that he lost between 8 to 10 pounds. His dresser, Mike...
Okay, I didn't expect that. 8 to 10 pounds per show? 8 to 10 pounds per show? Woo! That's crazy.
Bill Bush even had pants with different waist sizes that Jackson would change into during those shows. Corey Rooney and Chris Apostle, former Sony executives, spoke about the discussions they had with Michael Jackson about a tour that could support his 2001 album, Invincible. Quote, "Corey, I can't tour anymore. It will kill me, okay? Remember when I was preparing for my concert and I passed out at the Sony studio? Well, it's because when I get ready for a tour, I get dehydrated. I don't eat, I don't drink, I don't sleep. I put so much of myself into preparing for it." Jackson reportedly said he wanted to continue to put out albums till he couldn't do it anymore, but he just couldn't tour again. However, despite a lack of touring, weight fluctuations would become a recurring problem as the years went on. A few months after the allegations became news in 1993, He had stopped eating altogether and lost approximately 10 pounds in weight in a matter of weeks. According to Jackson, he had a tendency to stop eating when, quote, really upset or hurt, and longtime friend Elizabeth Taylor had to make him eat during this ordeal. Quote, she took the spoon and would put it into my mouth. He said that he eventually became unconscious and had to be fed intravenously. It was around this time that Jackson developed a drug addiction that became unmanageable. The stress from this case put enormous pressure on the fragile health of Michael Jackson. Although the charges were dropped and the boy refused to testify any further against his, quote, best friend, the damage was already done. Years later, during his 2005 child molestation trial, Michael Jackson resorted to medicating himself in order to numb the mental and physical pain he was suffering with as a result of the stress he endured during the high-profile proceedings. As a result, his health diminished. Nutritionist Dick Gregory reported that during the trial, Michael Jackson's weight had fallen significantly, as he was barely able to stay above 100 pounds.
When I say I've been living Atkins for years, that doesn't mean I've been on a diet for years.
I just, again, the way the press did Michael, they destroyed my man. Like, I get it, he was a celebrity, all the nonsense comes with being a celebrity, but the way that they specifically bullied Michael Jackson, it makes me sick to my stomach, bro.
The entertainer didn't eat and drink enough. Because Michael's family were so concerned, they turned to Gregory for help. Gregory also admitted that his client often collapsed when he returned to his Neverland Valley ranch after days in court. Quote, he was stronger at the trial than he was when he got home in the evening. That's when he was able to collapse and deal with the pain and feel the hurt of his body. He was a zombie. He just didn't have an appetite and he wasn't eating. There was nothing he could do to get his appetite back. After being found not guilty, Michael Jackson resorted to his self-imposed isolation and fell into deeper drug dependency. Staff around him noticed that he didn't like to eat much after taking medications, and even though Jackson didn't eat all that much, he still made time to sit down with his kids for a meal together. Quote, even though he'd say a lot of times, I'm not hungry, this is what he wanted to do. He was a prime example of a very good father, said director and friend Spike Lee. In 2009, Lou Ferrigno, who personally helped Jackson train for his upcoming This Is It London performances, suggested that his eating regimen was far from ideal. Quote, he only ate once a day, and it was always a running joke with us that I needed to put meat on his bones. But I just told him the proper supplements to take. He might have been a little thin because he was under a lot of stress and training for the tour, Ferrigno said. But when I put him through the routine and everything, it was just fine. I mean, very energetic. Michael Jackson would often skip meals.
Michael Jackson just wasn't human. Let's just conclude that, and I mean that in the most positive way possible. I mean that in no negative way at all. But like, for him to be able to not, buddy, if I miss one meal sometimes, I'm hangry, I'm mean, I'm like dizzy. If I miss one meal, okay, I'm spoiled, I know that. But it's just like, how did he eat one meal a day barely and still rehearse and give us these amazing performances and show? I just not human. More and more, I'm just realizing Michael Jackson was just something different.
At one point, a person was employed solely to remind him to eat. The tour director would help by cutting up Jackson's chicken for him. Karen Fay, his makeup artist and friend, said in an interview that she could actually see his heartbeat through his skin chest. She immediately told his manager Frank DeLeo, who answered, so, get him a bucket of chicken. Mike LaPerouse, Michael's former security, said, quote, he was always thin, but he was also in the middle of a very stressful time getting ready for the tour. He noted that he last saw Jackson at a Beverly Hills restaurant. Quote, I even said to him, Michael, this is the skinniest I've ever seen you. He said, well, I've been rehearsing. On June 26, 2009, the morning after Michael Jackson's sudden death from cardiac arrest, Jackson weighed 136 pounds and measured 5.75 feet tall. According to details taken during his autopsy, Jackson's stomach was absolutely empty of any food, except for partially dissolved drugs, which he took a few hours before his final moments.
Man.
Watch part 2 where we ask the question, did Michael Jackson suffer from an eating disorder? And did his low weight contribute to his untimely death? Also, If you enjoyed watching, make sure to hit thumbs up and subscribe for more Michael Jackson videos like this one. We'll see you next time.
I've been on.
Yo, that video was a little heavier than I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie, like the second half got real heavy when we started talking about some of this stuff. But great video, very informative. Again, I literally had never seen any footage of Michael Jackson eating before, so it was cool to see that. What I want to say as my random motivational tip of the day is about diet, but it's like, do what works for your body, because I feel like in our day and age, it's like everybody needs to be vegan. And then there's people like, no, you need to be vegetarian. And there's people like, no, you can be a all meat diet. Like, I've heard it all, and people are all fighting about what and how we should eat. But my perspective is, do what feels best for your body, right? So try different things and see what gives you the most energy. See what makes you feel the best. See how your body reacts. What foods give you a stomach ache? Don't eat that. You know, cut this out. Don't feel like you have to be vegan because everybody's being vegan. Don't feel like you have to be vegetarian because everybody's being vegetarian. Don't feel like you have to eat meat because everybody's eating meat. Like, I'm not dissing any of these diets. Whatever works for your body. For me, I gotta eat meat. Like, I eat steak for breakfast sometimes, and that works best for my body. But there's some people who, if they did that, their body wouldn't feel good. So be cautious, be aware, be cognitive of what works well with your body, what gives you energy, what makes you feel good, and eat that, and like, don't feel any guilt from what other people have to say about it. That's my random motivational tip of the day. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on that bell. It helps out more than you know. Drop some comments below, and I'll end this video the same way in all my videos by saying, I believe that I am great. I believe that you are great. I believe that life is great. So go be great. I'm out.